Mulligans and Hackers Golf Podcast Episode 6. I'm Chris, and we got Alvin over here on the couch by the fire.
I'm tired.
And barely awake.
We're going to get through this, because it's about time we got one of these done.
Yeah, it's been over a month, actually. We do apologize, but we've been doing nothing but playing a bunch of golf.
Exactly. I don't apologize for anything. I've played a shitload of golf in the last month, like a lot of golf.
Actually, I was looking. It was funny you say that. I was recapping it today. And since our last podcast, I have played 16 rounds, which brings me to a grand total of 75 rounds played this year already.
I'm at 50 plus.
Which is wild, and we still got about a month or so, maybe 2 months left, depending on how the weather shakes out.
Yeah, well, we're going to be going to we're just in just past the first week of August.
Yep.
And we've got 3 weeks in August left for sure.
And then all of September. And whatever October brings.
Potentially some in October, and everything in October is going to be gravy.
Yep.
So that's great.
My goal is to try and get to 100 rounds. I'm not sure if I'm going to get there, but I'm going to give it the old college try.
Old college try for sure.
So since our last podcast, it's been about a month. We got a laundry list of things to talk about. I do believe
so much golf.
On our last podcast, I was just heading out for my holidays out to Kananaskis. So I went out there and I played Silvertip Golf Course in Canmore, Alberta. First time I've ever played out there. They got a nice little track out there. Lots of elevation changes, lots of uneven ground on all the fairways, which I honestly wasn't a massive fan of. I mean, I played okay. I shot a 91, which was plus 19. And for my first time out there, wasn't awful, but not my favorite course to play. Beautiful scenery. The food at the clubhouse was absolutely trash, to be honest. If you're going to brand yourself as one of the best golf courses in Alberta, I expect more. That was not great.
Yeah, we'll talk about where we went on Saturday and the food after that place.
Absolutely. So, I mean, we did that on the Thursday out on the holidays. The Friday we kind of relaxed a bit. Saturday we got out and we played Kananaskis Golf Course, played the Mount Lorette side this year, which I hit fairway, green, drained like a 15-foot birdie, and I was like, whoa, today's going to be a really good day. And I think I was even through 6 or 7 holes. And then I promptly went double, and the rest of the back 9 we won't even discuss because, I mean, I still finished with an 87, which was plus 15.
Hey, that's not bad.
But
on a course you haven't played before?
Yes, I have never played that one.
So,
but it could have been, it was okay. It just could have been better the way I started, but I mean, I'm not going to complain. Again, the views are just tremendous out there.
I saw some of the pictures.
Yeah, they were amazing. We had some of the pictures up on Instagram, and it was just beautiful. And I mean, as an Alberta resident, to play both of those courses with a cart, it was $130 for 18 holes in a cart, which, I mean, you could easily charge double or triple that, and it would be totally worth it.
Man, golf can be expensive.
There. Yeah, it can.
Holy smokes.
It's a hobby that can eat up a lot of your money between golf clubs and, you know, golf fees and balls when you're losing balls and everything else that goes with it. It's not a sport that's for the faint of heart, that's for sure. So, I mean, while I was away, I did end up missing one tour date. That's the only tour date I've missed yet this year, and you still have yet to miss any. I
might be missing Saturdays.
This coming Saturday?
Yeah.
Oh, how come?
It's my anniversary.
Oh.
So I'm not quite sure how that's going to play out just yet.
Ooh, that's going to be a tough one, and the race is tightening.
Yeah,
it's really tightening. We'll discuss that in a little bit here. So on that tour date, while I was out of town and enjoying my holidays in the mountains, actually it wasn't you, it wasn't Darren, it wasn't any of the usual suspects that got the win. It was actually Dave C.
Big Dave.
Big Dave pulled out his first win of the season. Win. And I think he shot a plus 1682, if I do remember, right?
Yeah, and he beat me by 1 stroke. I shot an 83.
Oh, nice.
So it was a really close day, and it was really good. Chris M. shot an 84, and Darren shot an 85, and Clark shot an 87.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, everybody was close, right coming down the stretch. It was really cool.
We've had a lot of those lately where we've had some tight events, which has been good. So yeah, we did that event, And then I do believe we were supposed to do an event on the 17th. Was originally supposed to be Bow Island. We moved that. And then we actually ended up going out to good old Rolling Hills Golf and Country Club.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, one of our favorites. And we played in the men's open 4-person scramble.
Yeah.
And that was our first tournament we've played in as a group.
So we took you, myself, Darren, and Chris M.
Yep, all the at the time all the winners that were on the tour. And
Dave just missed by a week.
Yep.
of trying to work himself into a spot there. But so we went to Rolling Hills and played 18 there.
Yep. So we had breakfast. We left early. We got there. We had breakfast. We got our tea times. We got paired with actually a couple of the gentlemen that were running the tournament.
Yep.
And we got paired up with those guys. Our group, we started on the first hole. So we had
lucky.
Yeah, so we had a natural lucky. 18, which was nice.
Yep.
The only stipulations for the scramble tournament was that each person had to have 2 tee shots that were taken per 9. Or sorry, 1 per 9.
1 per 9.
2 total.
2 total. Yeah. Per individual.
Yeah, per individual. So, and we did a pretty good job of spreading them out. Actually,
we did.
And yeah, it was
an absolute blast.
It was.
I had an absolutely great day.
It was an incredibly long round of golf.
6 hours
for 18 holes.
Was long,
and it was hot. And we even got a steak dinner at the end, which was amazing. The golf was good. I was pretty happy.
We finished 5 under.
Yes, we finished 5 under. We had 7 birdies, 2 bogeys.
And the two was the 2 bogeys not on the same par 3?
They were on 2 different par 3s.
2 different par 3s.
But 2 long par 3s.
Yes.
Yeah. Because Rolling Hills has a bunch of long par 3s out there. But then we also had 9 pars. Yeah. So we played pretty well.
I think for our first opportunity in a tournament like that as a group.
With added pressure, right? Of playing in the tournament.
Playing in a tournament. I thought we played really well.
Yeah.
And I really want to do more of that next year.
Absolutely.
I really do.
That's going to be something next year where we look at and we maybe cut the tour schedule down a little bit, give ourselves some opportunities to play in a few more tournaments, whether that be here in town. I know Cottonwood has a tournament coming up this weekend. You have to have a registered handicap for, neither of which are registered, and it's full already. So, I mean, if we're on top of that, we can look into that for next year and get in at different places, because that's something that we definitely would like to do. I mean, it was fun.
Again, it's more travel. It's more getting out to the courses that we like, not too far away from the hat.
Absolutely. Gives you a different feel and adds a little bit of different pressure, right?
Exactly. And I mean, it was just so much fun. I can't. It's hard to put into words because it was quite a while ago. It was like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was the 17th of July.
Yeah. So, but like the whole day was just. That's how you spend a day golfing.
Absolutely.
Doing that.
Got up, got our breakfast, and I think it was $75 a person.
Yes.
So we had breakfast, a steak dinner, 18 holes, and prizes,
and totally reasonable.
Yeah, 100%.
For a day going out and golfing, and we got to meet some new people, and
I think there was, There was 17 teams.
17 teams.
17 teams. The winning team finished at 12 under, and I think we were at 4th or 5th.
Yes.
So we weren't so bad. That's a good day. No, again, first time out.
First time out doing it.
Pretty solid round.
Won't be our last time doing it. I can guarantee that.
No, not at all.
Because we also did the Cottonwood Canada Day one as well, right?
Yes, yeah, we talked about that one on the last podcast.
Yeah.
And that kind of that was a fun little two-person team tournament, which we'll probably do again next year.
Oh, for sure,
given the opportunity.
For sure, and we'll try to get some more guys from Mulligans and Hackers to pair up and get involved in that next year as well.
Yeah, and maybe even send 2 teams out to Rolling Hills, depending on how many people we have.
Depending on how many.
Yeah. That would be nice if we could maybe get 2 teams out there.
Yep.
So after we went out and we did that weekend, we came back the following weekend, and we had our next event. And it was me, Clark, and Josh in one group, and I think it was you, Dave, and who was the last one you guys?
Isaac came out that day.
Yes, you, James, and Isaac. Yeah. Or you, Dave, and Isaac. Yes, that's right. So, yeah, that was a day that Clark and I were basically going head-to-head all day long.
Yep.
Until he decided to take a quadruple bogey on the par 5, which essentially cratered his round and allowed me to coast to an easy 4th win of the season.
Yep.
With a plus 1480 that day. So that was another solid round by me, picking up points on you. As I'm hunting you down for first.
That was 200 points you gained on me that one, because I finished 3rd at a plus 21 at 87.
That's right, yep. So then the next event after that was at one of your favorite courses, out at Medicine Hat Golf and Country Club. And we went out there and we played, I think that was the following weekend. And we played out at Medicine Hat Golf and Country Club. There was only 6 of us that participated that day.
Yep.
And it was one guy in each group. That was kind of hot.
Yep.
It ended up being a 2-stroke difference between first and second, and Darren ended up getting his 2nd win of the year.
In how many tournaments has he?
I think he's only played 5.
5, and he's got 2 wins.
Yeah, 5, and he's got 2 wins. And
so I'm glad he hasn't played a lot, because that
could add up quick.
That could add up real quick.
Absolutely. But he played really well from what you guys were saying. Had a lot of good up and downs. Mm-hmm. His scrambling was on point. I was finished second. Darren shot an 86 to win, which is a plus 14. I shot a plus 1688 to finish second. And I had 2 triple bogeys that kind of got away from me. That was the difference. That kind of were a little frustrating. But I mean, ultimately, I was relatively happy with my round. And for a course that you really struggle on.
I broke 100.
Yeah, which was your goal, right?
Which was my goal, yeah. And again, there was a couple of holes that got away from me. Hole number 9, hole number 18. I maxed them both, quadded both of them.
But what did Rick Shields say about breaking 100?
Rick Shields said, I can't remember. You needed 9 pars, 9 double bogeys.
Yep.
And you can break 100 on any course. So that was kind of the philosophy I went into it with. Outside of those 2 holes, number 9 and 18, the rest of the holes, I got a few pars.
Yep.
Which helped, and I was in that par and bogey range, pretty much 1 to 8, and 10 to 17, which gave me. I blew up on 2 holes, which still kept me under 100, which fantastic. I broke 100. I don't give a rat's ass if I go back to that place again until next year. I don't care.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished, right?
So yeah, that was a good day.
And but I drove the ball really well that day. I think I missed 1 fairway the entire day.
See, and you have your best days, whether it's down at Cottonwood or any other course. You play really well when you hit fairways.
Yes.
And I mean, I'm very similar. If I'm hitting fairways, because my approach shots tend to be really good, I can put up some really low numbers. If I'm missing the fairway, then it leaves me with some tough approach shots.
Which and myself, because my approach game is not where it needs to be anyways.
No, but I hear you got some new tools in the bag for that.
I do. Well, we'll talk about that later. So if I'm out of position off the tee, I don't really have that ability to recover and get close. You know, it's guaranteed 3 or 4 to get there if I'm not in the fairway. Right? And that's really a handicap.
Yep,
right?
Absolutely.
I just don't have that shot. I barely have that shot when I'm in the fairway. Right?
Yeah, you're getting there. You just you're slowly gaining some distance there.
So I did take a week off, probably about.
It was a week before this week.
It was So.
Or two weeks ago.
2 weeks ago.
Because it was the week before leading up to Medicine Hat.
Right. Yep. I took a week off because I had previously in a couple of practice rounds we played, I was in single-digit pluses.
Yep.
+6 and a +9. And then I played a few rounds after that, and it was absolutely brutal. I was in the 90s. I couldn't get anything going. I really struggled, and I was really starting to get golfed out.
Yep.
So I took a week off. I think I played 9 holes that week. I took my daughter. We usually do 9 holes on Tuesday. I went and did that, and then I didn't play Monday. I played 9 holes Tuesday, and then I took the rest of the week off right up until Saturday. We played Medicine Hat.
Yep.
And I played good at Medicine Hat, and I was getting back in that groove again where, okay, I could play again now and enjoy it, but I really had a tough time there after I scored those, because I guess in my mind I almost felt, okay, you can do this now. You're in the single digit pluses. You're good to go. And boy, did that humble me quick. You know what? fuck the golf game every now and then, because that sucks.
The golf gods are out there, and
They
they're
stuck
watching
it to
you.
me. They stuck it to me for a week after I played really well and said, yeah, you know what, kid? You can't play this game. So that was brutal.
Yeah,
Other than what happened yesterday as in Sunday, which we'll talk about in a little bit here, I've played okay. I do know that I haven't really, for a while there, I was 1 or 2 birdies around.
Yep.
And in the last 2 or 3 weeks, I haven't had a look at a birdie. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And you're playing the same course from the same tee box, and you can't get in position. And it's just mind blowing how you just. Yesterday was bad, and we'll talk about that. But the decline, and okay, you're playing good 1 week, and the next week you can look like you've never picked up a club.
Yeah, man, I hear you. I mean, in some of the last, actually starting at Medicine Hat and leading into the last few rounds, my 3-wood off the tee box is just a weapon for me. And the last three tournament rounds, I've duffed more shots off the tee, like coming over the top. And I mean, I pounded out there 100, 125 yards because it's just the velocity on my swing, but it's just not making good contact. And right now I'm pretty sure it's a bit of back pain in my lower back that's transferred to my hip. So sometimes when I rotate, it doesn't feel great, and it's starting to show in some of my shots, and it's irritating.
And I think there's a video of your swing on our Instagram page, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It looks like you're having a seizure when you're swinging, anyways.
Yeah.
So I
any pain doesn't help.
The swing looks like it's painful if you don't have pain. So if you have pain and you do the same swing, it's got to be like critical pain, because it's just a body convulsion anyways. It looks bad, and if you hurt, it's got to be even worse.
Well, I'm going to try and take care of that this week and try and lighten up some of that pain, because it's stopping me on my rotation, and it's affecting my ability to hit the ball well, and really affecting my scores. I mean, at worst, I'm around bogey golf now on Cottonwood, and I mean, I always seem to find my way back there when I'm playing like crap. But I mean, again, I've been in the 70s as well. I've been close to that single-digit handicap, and it's frustrating, because it's like, you're right. We've played that course 50 plus times this year.
Yep.
Why can't we put up the number? So that being said, the following event, we went out to Bow Island.
We went to Bow Island,
yes. And that was 2 days ago.
That was 2 days ago on Saturday. Yeah.
So there was you, myself, my brother Josh, and Dave C. and Clark, who is essentially, they've turned into our core for this
to the
tour.
core group. Yeah.
Most of those guys have only missed one event, maybe, or attended.
I don't think Clark has missed one.
No, and Clark's attended all of them, and I think Dave, myself, and Josh. I think Dave has now missed 2.
Yeah.
Because
he missed yesterday, which would have been his second.
Yeah, and Josh and myself have missed 1. So we went up to Bow Island. And we played a round out there. This is actually our set. It was actually mine and your second time going out there, because we played at the very, very beginning. That was our first
round of the year. Was there?
Yeah.
Because they opened earlier than Medicine Hat.
Right.
So we snuck out there and did 18 to start the year.
Yes. So we played a round, and it wasn't a great round by any means.
You say that for you, but actually it was really okay for me.
It's okay for you, but I didn't feel like I played a really great round. I mean, Josh seemed like Josh will tell you he hit every tree on the course that he could possibly hit. He literally whack fucked his way around that course to whatever he ended up with. It was a rough day for him. He balls that were hit into trees.
If you didn't play in the fairway, there was no look at the green from anywhere.
No, and that's the one
if you were
thing
outside,
about that course.
Because they only really had one row of trees on the holes.
Yes.
But if you made it past those away from the fairway, you were going to have to punch it back into the fairway to look at the green.
Absolutely. There's a heck of a lot more hybrid bump and runs and just manufacturing shots that you typically don't have to use at most of the golf courses we play.
Yes. And if you were outside of that tree line and you were going to try and recover yardage and try and go for the green direction, it usually wound up really poor.
Yep. Well, I mean, I hit a tree.
Yeah.
I think you hit a tree.
Yeah.
Josh hit at least a couple of trees.
I think out of the whole group that went out there, we all hit at least one tree.
Yeah,
and most of us.
And when we're saying hit a tree, it's hit a ball directly into a tree and came backwards.
Yeah, you lost yardage.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So it was close at the turn at 9 holes. I had a 1-stroke lead over you, Clark, and Dave, who were all tied. And then I birdied number 1, which was number 10. I birdied number 10. You took a 7.
Yep.
So I gained 3 strokes there. So I had a 4-stroke lead after 1. And by the time we got to 18, your par putt would have won. Or was it your par putt or your birdie putt?
That was my birdie putt.
So your birdie putt would have won you the day.
But on the previous hole, I double bogeyed because I missed a short putt. If I could have made that one,
that would have won you.
That would have won it. But I went par, 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 double bogey, par to finish that back 9.
Yes, and I went like double, 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 triple.
And I had to look at birdie on 18, and I double bogeyed 17. And if I could have got that short putt to drop or made the birdie putt on
1
18,
putt somewhere along the line.
In those last 2 holes, I would have won.
Yeah,
and it didn't pan out because that's golf.
But ultimately, it ended up, I mean, we're 14, 15 events in, and we finally had our first tie at the top. We won't call it a tour win because we've decided that if you tie, it's not a tour win.
No, nobody gets that.
Nobody gets credit for the win.
Yeah.
So you and I tied at the top with plus 21,
which I was totally
93.
Personally, I was totally happy with a 93 at Rolling or at Bow Island. Sorry.
Looking back on it, 93 is not terrible. But I know I can play better than that. I
know I can play better than that too. But knowing it and going out and doing it, 2 totally different things.
Yeah, no, I wasn't overly happy with that. I will take the tie for top spot.
Because we're going to talk about yesterday's round.
Yeah.
Okay? We're going to talk about yesterday's round, and we talk about playing Cottonwood 50 or more times.
So, going back to Bow Island, so you and I tied at first with a plus 21. And then, actually, Dave and Clark actually tied for third. I think, what did they shoot? Plus 20...
Plus 26.
Yeah,
for 98.
For 98.
So good for them.
4 people broke 100.
Yep.
And then Josh brought up the rear that day.
117, plus 45. But Josh has been breaking 100 down at Cottonwood quite regularly now.
He's hitting 100 or getting very close to just 1 or 2 strokes under. Yeah. So his game's coming around.
Cool
one thing that we did add to his bag, he never really had a full set of wedges. And he's been down here working for me for the summer, or working with me for the summer and doing things for me. So I bought him a new putter and some new wedges. We got him the Kirkland wedges from Costco, and I got him the Kirkland putter because he's been using my ancient old Scotty Cameron that needs to go get refurbished. And he tried them out at Bow Island, and he said he likes them. It's going to take some time for him to get used to it.
And I got a set of the Kirkland wedges as well because I needed. That was a hole in my bag.
Right.
Was that because I had a 52-degree wedge and I had a 55-degree sand wedge, but I didn't have anything else. So getting the Kirkland set, it came with the 52-degree, 56-degree, and the 60-degree. And I'm not going to lie to you when I say I really like that 60-degree wedge. That's a different animal in your bag.
That is my go-to club anywhere within like 40 yards around the green now. And like a month and a half ago, I wouldn't touch my wedges. It was gap wedge everywhere inside 100 yards. But now I've really
I played with them. The first time I played with them was Bow Island.
Yeah.
And they really came in handy there. They actually add that flop shot close to the green, which I've never had because I've always played the bump and run.
Yep.
Right? And now I have that little bit of a flop shot and a little rollout. So that's a different look and a different animal that I've never used before.
Absolutely.
And I like that.
Just going to take some time to get used to. So after we played Bow Island, Clark and Dave tore out and went home. You, me, and Josh always ride together because I always tend to drive. So then we were looking for some lunch, and we went over and we stopped in at, I believe it's Jimmy's Diner.
Jimmy's Diner in Bow Island.
Dirty Jimmy's Diner. And it looks like an absolute scrub hole, but the food was just delicious.
That was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I've been telling everybody at work today, like, has anybody here eaten at Jimmy's in Bow Island? Has anybody done that? Because if you haven't, you got to go do it. Their double cheeseburger is something to die for.
Yeah, their double cheeseburger was awesome.
And when you order a large fries, you literally get a bag of fries.
Absolutely. And then I had an extra large milkshake, and it was delish.
So the food was better than the golf that day.
Absolutely. So we came back.
What's our standings for the purple sombrero?
Well, that brings the purple sombrero standings to you maintain with our tie. You maintain a 50-point lead going into our final event.
I've got
for the hunt for the purple sombrero, which is get awarded to the winner at all rounds not played at Cottonwood.
Yes, all of our out of town rounds.
Yeah.
Or rounds in town that's not at Cottonwood.
Correct.
So I'm leading right now with 3,450 points.
Yep.
And you're coming in second with 3,400 points. So we're only 50 points behind, and we have one out of town event left.
Yes.
And we haven't quite decided if we're doing Cypress yet.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be Cypress, but I mean, I'm open to. We haven't quite decided if we want to commit to that or maybe change it to a different.
And we're going to talk about that over the course of the week.
Yep.
And we'll see what we want to do there.
Absolutely.
Because again, I'm not quite sold on it either.
Yep.
There's other courses that maybe I want to try first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
And I mean, that's just the joys of being the guys that created the tour. We can just change the dates if we want.
And now we have a core crew like Clark, Dave, you, me, and Josh. There's 5 of us, and now Darren is going to be playing a little more.
Yep.
That crew of 6, if we can just get that crew to go to wherever we want, that's enough guys to take.
Absolutely.
Right? So I'm happy with that core crew.
Yeah, no, it's been good. Yeah. And I mean, some of the other guys play whenever they can, and yeah, it's nice. So continue on with the standings. So you were in first at 3,450. I'm in second at 3,400. And then anybody else in striking distance?
Well, Clark's coming up in third with 2,950.
So if Clark was to win and we were to fall off a little bit, he could potentially pull it out.
Pull it out, yeah.
So
then Dave C comes in at 2,800 points, and so I don't know.
So Dave's still in striking distance too, but barely.
Barely, and
that's really it.
That's really it. Yeah.
So it's funny because I'm still 50 points back of you, and if I remember correctly, the very first out of town date at Rolling Hills, I played one of the worst rounds I have ever played, and I got only 550 points, and you won with 1,000.
Yeah.
And that was a 450 point swing.
Yeah.
So that's the difference right now.
Yep. That's it, man. That's it right there.
So essentially, going into the final out of town tour date, it'll come down to if you and I if we're in the top 3, if I beat you, I win.
Yep.
If you beat me, you win.
Yep.
If we tie, you win.
Yep. Yeah.
So in order for me to win, I have to beat you.
You have to win. And depending on what course we go to, because you know how I struggle with the new par 72 courses.
Yes.
Right? Because I kind of overthink them and
yeah, I don't know why, but you do. Yeah.
Yeah. So the pressure, I think, is for our next out of town is all on me.
Oh yeah, squarely on your shoulders.
So I'm 100%. Pretty sure I'm going to totally fold like a cheap suit under that pressure. So.
Well, we'll have to see how it shakes out. So then, the following day, we had a couple different tee times. We had a tee time at 7:10 in the morning, and you and Clark went out early. And then myself, Josh, and my dad went out at 11 because my dad came down from Calgary, so we got a later tee time so that he could play in the tour event. And Dave was a little busy, so he couldn't make it yesterday. And I almost had a stroke when I fucking woke up that morning, and I look at Dave sends me, or Clark sends me a text of the scorecard, and I'm like, what?
Is that a typo? Is that a typo?
Am I awake? So I instantly text Clark, and I'm like, is that a typo? All he says is ... Nope. And I'm like,
okay, so just go through the scores.
Okay, so we ended up with another tie. Back to back tour dates.
First place ties.
So Clark and I ended up tied at first with a plus 1985. I had a putt for a bogey on 18 to win it. It was about 6 feet. Just missed it. Tapped in for par on 18 to win it, and it was about a 6-footer. I just missed it, and I tapped in for bogey to take the tie. And then in third...
So you and Clark finished tied first, plus 19.
Yeah.
85s each. Not bad.
So we split 950 points apiece. So, I mean, we split first and second. So then actually... And Josh came in third with his highest showing yet, his best showing. He shot a 95.
That's plus 29.
And he started max, almost max again, and he did not want to be there because he wasn't feeling great yesterday. And but his back was unbelievable. He tied me. He shot a 44 on the back.
Nice.
And tied my score of a 44. So
Josh finished third.
Yes, with 95.
95.
And then my dad finished fourth with a 98. And you're probably all wondering now where the hell Alvin is.
I did play yesterday. I totally had a round yesterday. I did think about withdrawing after the first 5 holes because we were close to the parking lot. But I said, screw it. I'm not leaving Clark out here by himself. But I finished the round yesterday at plus 34.
So an even 100.
So an even 100 at Cottonwood, a par 66. I have never shot 100 at Cottonwood, ever. Not even when I didn't golf. I never shot 100 at Cottonwood. I shot 100 yesterday. Wow. And when I got to the golf course at 7, like I was probably there at 6:30.
Yeah.
Right? I even went to the driving range, hit a few balls with the wedges just to loosen up.
Yep.
And I felt great. I'm not going to lie to you. I was rested. My mind was there. I get up to the first tee box. I'm teeing off. Clark teed off first. I teed off behind him. So Clark tees off. I get up. I sit up to the ball. And at the tee box, right along the left side of the tee box, there's just one row of small trees.
Yeah, and the fence. So I get up to tee off, and I shank my shot so bad off the number 1 tee box that it hits the trees, bounces off the fence, and lands like 3 inches from the bottom of the fence. And nobody knows where that fence is, but that's like literally, I could reach my driver out and touch the fence. That's how far my ball went off the tee box. So it's laying there. So I took relief from the fence, pulled out my hybrid, hit it with my hybrid. It went about 25 feet. It still didn't make it to the fairway. So then I walked up to it because it wasn't that far. It wasn't worth getting in the cart for. So I walk up to it. I hit my hybrid again, and you know how the hole plays out. So I hit it. It comes out right, goes over the cart path down into that area off hole number 2 to the left there. Yeah. Or yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Lost it. So I had to take a drop.
Oh my god.
So then I hit
You're hitting 5.
I'm hitting 5. I come up short of the green. So I come out of there with an 8 off number 1.
Oof.
So I'm 4 over after 1 hole. And I looked at Clark, and Clark looked at me, and he went, I have never seen that from you before. And I was like, nope. So I said, I'll forget it. Let's go to number 2. So we go over to number 2. Clark tees off. He hits a really good drive. So then I get up and I hit my drive. I'm just off to the right between that tree on the right and the bunker.
Okay,
I'm not on the fairway, but I'm just off.
Yeah, which is a pretty standard spot for you.
So I hit my second shot. I'm down in the Valley of Doom. I chip. I don't make it to the green. So my next shot is on. And so I'm on in 4 and 2 putt for a 6, a double bogey. So now, after 2 holes, I'm 6 over. And I'm like, so we're coming up to number 3. Number 3 is my hole.
Yeah, number 3 is usually where you get your motor going.
Number 3 is my hole. It's par birdie. I got that in the lock.
99% of the time.
I got it locked. Except for yesterday. So I get up to the tee box with my hybrid, which I use off that hole every time now because my 3-wood, I go a little long. There's a creek that runs in front of the green, so I just want to lay up the chip over. So off to the left, there's another big bushel of trees. And I mean, literally, it's almost behind me.
Yeah, it's very close.
It's
you got to pull it pretty left to get into it.
So I tee off and I shank it right into those trees. I lose another one.
Lost ball count at 2 now.
So I'm like, what in the 9 hells is fucking going on here? If I just totally forgot how to play this? And Clark's just like wandering around the cart. He doesn't quite know what to do or what to say because I'm not out of myself. I didn't throw a club the entire day yesterday, and I never really got out of myself. It was like I just didn't know what was happening.
Yep.
So I took the drop, I lay up, I chip over, I get out of that one with a double bogey. So I'm 4, 2, and 2. So I'm 8 over after 3 holes.
Jeez.
So then we get over to par 3. Par 3, I get up, I'm on, 2-putt, get off with a par. I'm like, sweet.
All right.
Now we can play again. Hole number 4 is that elevated tee box with the coulee running down. Again, behind you, the coulee runs down. Okay?
On the left side.
On the left side.
Yep.
So I'm a righty, so when I get up, the coulee is behind me. And you know that tree that sits about halfway down up in the hill?
Yep.
Right? I tee off, and I'm using my 5-wood this time because 5-wood is what I hit off there now. Well, I shake it so bad behind me, it embeds itself in the hill. I can't find it. Now I'm at ball number 3 lost. And the rest of the day, I shit you not, Cass, the rest of the day, I never got to look at a par for the rest of the day, and everything else was just like that. I hit one fairway, and that was 17. I hit 17. That was the only fairway I hit.
All right, let's go down the scorecard that Clark sent me. You started with an 8. Then you had a 6. So quadruple bogey, double bogey. You actually had a triple bogey on 3.
Okay, that makes sense.
Then you had a par.
That was the par 3, yes.
Then you went triple bogey, par on the next par 3.
So yeah,
Then you went bogey on 8 and bogey on 9. So you went par, bogey, bogey to close out the front 9. Not so bad.
The damage was already done at that point.
So you closed out with a 50. So then on the back,
50,
right? That's 17 over. So then on the back, you started with a bogey, double bogey, par again on the par 3. So at this point, we're through 4 par 3s and you're +1. So then the par 3s finally got to you. You took a +3 6. And then the par 5.
Yeah.
You took a 9.
Yeah, because I got up and I changed my strategy the last few rounds we've played there. I've usually hit 5-wood off the tee, so I don't have enough yardage to get to that creek that's on the right.
Right.
So because my round was gone to shit, I pulled out my driver.
Try and go for it.
And just hit it out there, plunk it out there, and see what happens, right? Well, to the left, there's another creek. Well,
yep.
You know exactly what I've been shanking it left all day. Off the tee box, I shank it left. So Clark throws me another ball. I'm just going to hit another one off the tee box. Shank that one in the exact same spot.
Oh my God.
Exact same spot. So I went up and took a drop from there. And what did I finish there?
A 9.
A 9, yeah. So I took drops and what a clusterfuck.
Then you had a double bogey 6. Then you had a single bogey 4. Then you had a double bogey finish to finish with a 50 on the back. And that rounded out your 100. That is one of the wildest scorecards I think I have ever seen from you.
I didn't quit.
No, I am actually quite proud of you for not withdrawing.
I didn't throw a club. Not one club toss the entire day. And me and Clark were still on talking terms by the time we were done. I didn't shut down. I was just like, this is the golf gods saying that, hey, you're just not going to have a day today. You're just not. So you may as well go out there and suffer through it because this is how your round is going to go today.
So I picked up 450 points on you?
Yes, you did.
Oof. That's really closed the gap.
It has.
In the race. We have 5 events left.
Yeah, it would be even closer if you didn't miss that one event. Because I'm sure you would have finished in the top 3 or 4. And
I'd be ahead of you.
Yeah, you would be ahead of me.
Yeah, I'd be ahead of you.
So,
because right now, going into to our last 5 events, the current standings for the race for the season cup see you in first place at 12,800 points with 4 event wins. I'm in second with 4 event wins with 12,350 points. So I'm 450 points behind you, having played 1 less event.
So I don't know if I can miss Saturday, even though it's my anniversary. My wife wants.
If you miss an event, it almost nails it.
Yeah,
it's. I mean,
so then for you would take the lead, and then for the next 4 events after that, I would have to finish above you every time.
Yes, and the crazy part of it is so the 5 events since our last podcast, I missed 1. And in the 4 events since coming back, I've been first or tied for first 3 times and finished second once to really put the pressure on you. Even playing some rough golf on some of those days, I've just weathered through it and played what I like to call battle golf.
I love it when you call it rough golf. Fuck, you don't even know what rough golf is. Just go out there and shoot 100 at Cottonwood and tell me about fucking rough golf. Jackass.
Yeah, I don't know if I would make it through with all my golf clubs if I shot 100 on it out there.
That was awful. It was bad. And I mean,
I do have to give you kudos though for not withdrawing and pulling a Victor Hovland or a Bryson and be like, oh, my arms, they're so sore.
Dude, it was so bad. It was just so bad.
Oh yeah, that was something else when I got that text. That was pretty wild. But I mean, yeah, you've opened from going from essentially having all you had to do was play out the rest of the events and just show well to really seal it up. Yeah. To now the pressure is squarely on your shoulders for the Mulligans going into the year-end tournament.
Yeah, I mean, a guy tying for first and the other fucking guy bringing up last place in an event that'll close the point gap pretty quick.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about that yesterday. Yesterday's event was the first time that Josh has ever beat my dad in a round of golf, which was awesome. It was good.
That's the first time he's ever beaten me in a round of golf.
Yeah, first time he's ever beaten you. His best event standing, and I think that's the first time ever out of a group that you've finished. I think the lowest you'd finished going into the season was 4th.
Yeah,
and for you to finish 5th and last. I mean, you only finished 5th because there's only 5 golfers.
Yeah. Because I'm sure if Dave was there... talking about that? Why don't you keep talking about that? Because, it doesn't make it any fucking worse or better, jackass.
You know what's great, though? You get to shake it all off.
Yeah.
And you get another chance at it this coming weekend if you play.
So I'm taking my daughter out again tomorrow because it's Tuesday. We're going to go do 9 tomorrow. Are we playing Wednesday?
No, Wednesday I have ball again. Okay. The last 2 weeks I didn't have ball.
Okay.
So this week I have ball. I do have a tee time booked for Friday.
Okay.
If you want to play.
No, I'm probably out for Friday.
Okay. And then we have we have to play early morning, 8 o'clock because it's shotgun start because there's a tournament later in the day at Cottonwood. So if we're playing, I have 2 tee times for 8 golfers.
Yeah, and if it's 8 o'clock, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 30, I should still be home before lunch.
Yeah.
Then my wife can have me for the rest of the day for our anniversary.
Yeah, I'm sure she's not going to want you for that long anyways.
No, probably not.
You might even get to watch the Jays game.
Yeah, I might.
They've been playing well, so we've been really slacking on watching some golf.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I haven't watched hardly any in a month.
Yeah, I mean, I've taken in a few events, a couple different rounds. I kind of checked in a little bit on the Olympics. Really wasn't interested. I just kind of seen who won.
Yeah, I saw who won too, and I'll be honest with you. I didn't watch any Olympics. Zero Olympics. If I turned the TV on and the Olympics was on, I made sure I changed the channel. I didn't care if I was going to the Food Network channel. I was not watching any of the Olympics. You know me.
Yep.
And a lot of other people know me. I am political, but I'm not politically correct. And I don't like wokeness, and I don't like organizations supporting things that takes opportunities away from women. And I truly believe this Olympics did that. And New Zealand knows what I'm talking about. And I don't support that. And that's as far as I'm going to go with talking about it. But, hold some integrity into what it is you're putting out there. And I believe the Olympics lost a lot of integrity this time around. And it's going to take them a long time to get it back.
It was a little crazy in the men's side. Xander Schauffele from the United States ended up winning. Going into the tournament, Bryson was actually supposed to be part of Team USA, tested positive for COVID. Got immediate ban because there was zero tolerance going into being that they were in Tokyo. And actually, funny story, good old John Rahm, world number 1, was already lost $1.7 million this year from a positive COVID test. Is now has been fully vaxxed for several weeks. Gets a COVID test right before the Olympics, supposed to be representing Spain, test positive, you can't play. So that was kind of crazy. So the field maybe
and he got this so-called vaccine, and I don't want to get into this.
I just throwing it out there.
But what is the definition of a vaccine? The definition of a vaccine is, it stimulates the production of antibodies and provides immunity against one or several diseases. Provides immunity from it. So this vaccine that they talk about for COVID doesn't provide immunity from it, so it's not a vaccine.
No.
It's just a flu shot.
That's essentially.
And But again, that's a whole different
We
animal.
digress.
That's a whole different animal.
So Schauffele finished first. One of the Slovenians finished second. He had a really good round. He's actually not Slovenian. He's South African, but his wife is Slovakian. So he has his Slovak citizenship. And then there was a 9-person playoff.
For the bronze medal.
That
I did hear.
It was crazy. And then on the women's side, I'm not sure how it all shook down. I just know that Nelly Korda from the States ended up winning.
She did, yes. And I don't know who finished silver or bronze.
She's been playing unreal, though. Coming off the LPGA. She's easily been the best women's golfer for the last couple months.
And I know Brooke Henderson participated.
Yep.
But she didn't really have a look in because she didn't have a good first round. But since her sisters come off her bag... She has struggled since. And we're talking not just the Olympics, but...
everywhere.
A few tournaments before her sisters come up, because her sister has her own career she wants to get involved in.
Yeah, and her dad was typically her coach before COVID happened, and then her sister's always been on her bag, and then her sister kind of started coaching her because her dad couldn't be there because of restrictions, and they actually they won the one event a few months back, and things were going good.
But I think that win was the last time her sister was on the bag.
Interesting.
I think, if I can recall. And she hasn't really performed well since. And that could be just, again...
getting used to new things,
uncomfortable factor, right?
Yep.
Golf is
100% comfortability,
right?
man.
You're outside your comfort zone, and man, it's a difficult game to play when you even know how to play. But if you're not in a comfort zone, it's got to be a nightmare. Well, I do know what it's like to not be comfortable and play, but I don't have any skill in this damn sport.
I didn't really watch any of it, but the WGC championship was yesterday, or the final round was yesterday, and Abraham Answer actually got his first career PGA Tour.
But there was a huge playoff yesterday as well.
3-player.
Okay.
Because so it was Answer, Sam Burns, and Hideki Matsuyama.
Oh, okay. Because when I watched, Harris English was there at -16 as well.
Yeah, he dropped off a little bit.
Okay.
And so those three actually finished 16 under and made it to a playoff. And Answer ended up winning his first PGA Tour championship finally, which was nice for him to see. It's, you know what, speaking about how it is a game about comfortability, as a hack of a golfers that we are.
That's an understatement lately.
Right? I never really realized how different each golf ball can be. So early on in the season, I was playing the Vice Pro Plus. I mean, I still have some of them. I just have gone away from them a little bit. Then I was trying some different balls. I tried the Bridgestone E6s, got some wins, liked the feel of those. And then I had some TP5s and some TP5Xs. I really like the feel of those. A little expensive, but I like those. We got some Pro V1s for our round out in Rolling Hills. Gave those a go. Actually, really loved how those feel. I'm not typically a Titleist guy, but I really loved them.
I'll second that. I don't play Titleist Pro V1s, but I've used them a few rounds prior to playing like shit, because I normally play Strixon.
Yep.
The Durasoft.
Yep.
I played Pro V1s at Rolling Hills. I played Pro V1s a couple of practice rounds after that. Those were the balls I were using when I got into single digit.
Maybe you should go back to those.
And then for our events, I went back to my Strixons.
Well, there's your problem.
That just might be. I'm not gonna say it is, but I really like Pro V1s as well.
We've just been playing.
I play golf on a budget.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
For me, golf. That's why I went to the Kirkland wedge set, because I was actually going to go with I was
sub 70.
No, Haywood.
Okay.
Out of BC, I believe, because they make wedges, and I was going to actually get a 60-degree wedge made there.
Yep.
And it was going to cost me what it was going to cost to get the 3 wedges from Kirkland.
Yeah, you can't go wrong.
And I'm a budget guy.
Yep.
So I'm like, well, that's just that takes care of the lower end of my bag.
And the Kirkland wedges and the Kirkland putter, for those of you that don't know, that are sold at Costco, they're literally Vokey knockoffs and a Scotty Cameron putter knockoff.
Yep.
Because they're essentially made by the exact same people.
Yep.
It's no different than the Kirkland golf balls that are last year's Pro Vs.
Yeah.
And that's essentially what they are. Yep. They're made the same as the Pro Vs. So I played with the Pro Vs that you gave me, and then a couple weeks ago, we were out for a practice round, and I was kind of like, I want to try a different ball. So I was in the clubhouse down at Cottonwood, and I'm like, well, what do they have for Titleist? And I was thinking about maybe getting some more Pro Vs, and then I looked, and I'm like, these Titleist True Feels, $30 for a dozen. I'm like, well, let's give those a go. Because I like I like a hard but a softer ball for putting. Because I do. I really like the feeling on the greens, because my flat stick wins me a lot of events, because that's where I make up my strokes. So it's important to me how the ball... I couldn't tell you how the ball feels off the driver or off my wedges or irons. Couldn't tell you. I can tell you how it feels off the putter. So I've been trying those out, and I actually really like them. So I've been playing with those a lot lately. You know, the very first round, I think I went out and I played with them. I had 4 birdies, and I finished with like an 85 or an 86, because the rest of my round was just so bad. And then even yesterday, I had 2 birdies, which is the only thing that kept me on pace with Clark and saved me. But I mean, typically, you say you haven't had a look at birdie lately. I mean, I typically get usually around 1 birdie a round on average. Sometimes it's a little more, sometimes it's 0. Yep. It just kind of depends on the day. But yeah, I really like those balls, so I've kind of given Titleist a chance, liking that. So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
I might go back to Pro V1s for a little while here. But again, they're an expensive ball, and it's something I'm not going to keep in the bag all year.
No, right? When they're $65 for a dozen.
I have
crazy.
A line on Strixon, so where I get Strixon for a little cheaper than what you would get in the store or the clubhouse.
Absolutely.
So that's what I go for.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why I use Strixon a lot. But losing 6 Strixons on Saturday, yeah.
Did you even have any more balls in your bag? Because you typically only carry like 6.
Actually, I had more in my bag that day. I actually had a full box of Strixons in my bag that day.
Oh.
So I lost 2 full sleeves, and I saved the last 2 sleeves. So I lost 6, and I came out of it with 6. Yeah, that's brutal.
Josh and I were laughing about that, because they're like, Alvin usually doesn't carry more than 6.
I usually don't. Because again, if I'm losing 6 balls, I may as well just go home.
Yeah, you might as well not be there.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I'm usually really good off the tee box with my driver.
Yep. I was struggling with my 3-wood a bit, like I was saying, topping a lot of balls. So yesterday, actually, I just grabbed my 6-iron off a lot of holes, and I'm starting to hit my 6-iron around 200 yards.
So I use an ancient Tommy Armour model 708 Silver Scott putter.
Yeah, it's
a true blade putter, like a really old one.
Yeah, one of the originals.
It actually really let me down on Saturday when we were at Bow Island. There was something there that just didn't feel right on the putter that day. So I actually considered yesterday switching back to my Alien mallet putter.
Sounds like you maybe should have.
That wasn't going to happen. On the green wasn't the problem, dude. It was actually getting to the green from the tee box. That was the problem. But I actually pulled it out of the bag. I actually had it out laying against my bag yesterday morning.
Yeah.
That consideration's still there. Yesterday morning, before I went to golf, I have a putting mat downstairs. So I had a couple of putts with the mallet putter, and I did not like the feel of it coming off the face of the putter.
Yep.
So I just laid it up against the wall again. Yeah, no, I can't go back to that.
Well, you're just so used to, and your blade putter has been incredibly good for you all year.
Yes, I do want to get the grip changed on it again, though, because again, we're just getting into the different equipment, the different grips, the things that like the fine tuning of the golf. And I mean, we're
the comfortable things.
Yeah, we're just not there. So the Kirkland wedges that I got, actually they come with Lambkin regular grips. Yeah, and my entire bag from driver down to my gap wedge is Lambkin regulars. So now my three wedges that I got, they're still Lambkin regulars. So from driver to 60-degree wedge, all the same grips, because my Wilson D7s are Lambkin regulars, because I got
Bob to fix.
No, they came with Lambkin regulars.
Okay, nice.
So when I went to get my grips changed again, I gave one to Bob. I said, Bob, I want these on all of my clubs. And he goes, okay, that's a Lambkin regular. I can do that. So my Woods and hybrids have Lambkin regulars. My D7s have Lambkin regulars. And now these Kirkland ones come with Lambkin regulars, which is pretty cool. Yep. Pretty cool. So now they're still all gripped the same. But my putter grip, I went with a 3.0 Super Stroke.
Yes, very similar to mine. Just a mid-size.
Yours is a 2.0, is it not?
Nope, mine's a 3.0.
Is it a 3.0?
But mine's an XL.
Right. So if I was going to get my grip changed on my putter, I would go 2.0 extra to get the length. Yes. Because I need that, because I use the saw grip. Yes. Claw grip, whatever, the Phil Mickelson style. Actually, he's using the arm lock. He used the arm lock on this weekend.
Oh, did he?
He did. He changed it up.
Well, I know that some of the golfers have several different putting styles that they use depending on where they are on the green.
Yeah.
How far from the hole they feel more comfortable. Yeah. Like, I mean, with me, with my reverse grip, it's there's actually golfers out there that'll golf cross-handed.
You bet.
Because they just feel more comfortable with it, right?
Yeah, because it keeps their shoulders in line as they're coming through, right? But I like the claw grip, but I think that I don't know if I'll do it this season or if I'll do it at the beginning of next season so that I can have a little time to work into it.
Going into the end of the season might not be the best time to do it.
It's in my head that I want to switch it to a 2.0 and get it a little longer. So
maybe you order one off of Super Stroke and get it customized with Mulligans and Hackers for free.
Kind of like somebody else has got done?
Yeah, I mean, you can get it for free, so why not?
Yeah.
I mean, the customization doesn't cost you anything.
So,
and then I'm sure Bob would just pop it on for you.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Speaking of Bob, I have in my bag, I got a 4 hybrid that never fucking comes out unless I use it for a bump and run. And I've been trying to hit it at the driving range and I can't hit it. So I was doing some stuff for Bob the other day, some work stuff, and I talked to him. I actually got him to order me a 4 fly high 4 hybrid JPX. Just like my Mizuno 5 Fly High, which is one of my favorite clubs in my bag. In all the specs, same specs with the blackout shafts and the Lamkin Hybrid ST Plus mid-size grips, which is up and down my bag. So that should be here probably. It won't be probably this season, but it'll be towards the end of the year. I just want to get another one that feels the same as my 5 because I can hit my 5 really well. So I want to add my 4 in there to see if it can kind of cover the gap because I'm just not confident with that other 4 anymore. Like it works good for bump and runs, but it just doesn't, for some reason or another, I just can't hit it. And I think maybe because all the rest of my irons are +2 offset and that one is standard, that might be the problem. But I mean, we'll see. We'll once that one comes and I get some swings in with it and get a little bit of a feel for it, we'll see if it's going in the bag and the other one's coming out, or if I just add another club to the collection. And with Josh getting a new putter, I'm going to send my Scotty Cameron away. I think probably either at the end of this year or through the winter. I'm just going to get it refurbished, send it down there, and spend a few $100 and get it put back to basically original.
Nice.
Change the grip, put a Super Stroke grip on it, and give myself another option as a putter. Because right now I have a half mallet, and then I actually really like the blade. And a lot of guys have a hard time going between the two. And for me, I don't really feel a huge difference. It takes a few putts to get used to it, but then away you go, right? So, and I love putting. I'm kind of I'm a golf nut as you are, but I'm also very much a putter guy. Like, if I had a ton of money, I'd be buying putters left, right, and center. It's just something that I like to do. So, but the next event we got is Saturday, so we'll see what this week shapes up. See if you can sneak in your round before your anniversary, and then after that, I believe the following weekend is the weekend we're supposed to go to either Cypress Hills or wherever we decide to do.
we decide we're going to do. We'll try and get that decided this week so that we give the guys enough time to decide whether they want to go.
And Sunday, I looked into getting into Medicine Hat. We ain't going to get in there this Sunday.
No.
We could get around down at Cottonwood, but it'll have to be down in the afternoon.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, it'll have to be after 3 o'clock.
Yeah, and maybe we'll do a Sunday evening round after supper.
Yeah.
On Sunday, just go down and do a casual 18.
Yeah, give it a little different time, right? Could be something that we do for sure.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. And we will try and be back before a month's time. We're not promising anything, but we've been playing a lot of golf.
But we'll try. At least we had enough to talk about today.
Yeah, it always seems like,
Because again, we didn't talk a lot about pro golf this week because we hadn't really watched a lot in the last month. So all we talked about was our golf, and that's good enough for me.
Yeah, and the pro golf is kind of, as the year kind of winds down and we're getting into, we're big sports guys. The Jays are starting to get hot, pushing for a playoff spot.
So we're watching that. And
that's become the topic of du jour.
Yeah. So. We were driving home from Bow Island. They had a doubleheader on Saturday. And in the first game, while
Yeah,
we were
playing the Red Sox.
while we were at Jimmy's, we were watching them on my phone.
Yep.
And we were leaving, and it was like, okay, well, let's put the game on your XM radio on the way home. And we actually listened to
Semion's
walk-off, so that was pretty cool. And it was
you actually said it in the top when Romano was pitching top of the seventh, because in the doubleheader games they're split into 2 7-inning games. So you said it in the top when Romano was in, and they said you have Semien, Semien, Teoscar, and Grichich or something coming up, and you're like, that's the lineup to win it.
That's the 3 to win it. Yeah.
And I looked over at you and I said, I was like, Semien's due for a home run. And then
first pitch
goes down, goes into the bottom. Red Sox closer Barnes comes in, first pitch right down the middle and crunches it.
So the vehicle got a little excited
right away.
So that was a great topic for conversation for the rest of the ride home.
Absolutely, that kept us in good spirits. But yeah, no.
But I think when our season's over, I think we're going to get involved in the Tiger Woods golf, right?
Yeah, so I was looking, actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I was kind of looking at that today. It's not even it's not Tiger Woods anymore. It's EA Sports PGA Tour.
Okay.
Is what it's called.
Is Tiger going to be on the cover?
I don't know.
Okay. Because
but it's
2K is the other one, right?
Correct.
Yeah, and we played 2K last year.
Yeah, and that had Justin Rose on it.
Justin Thomas.
Or Justin Thomas,
yeah.
Sorry.
And that sucked.
Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, that was pretty boring.
It is.
We played a few rounds online together on that one.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty easy to score well.
But you couldn't build your golfer, you couldn't adjust your golfer, to have a power golfer or a finesse golfer.
Yeah, to whatever way you want to do it.
You played golf, you got money, and you bought clothes and equipment.
Yeah.
That didn't change your game at all.
No.
That was a useless game. So 2K Golf 2 PGA 2K21 useless. Didn't like it. So we were pretty excited when
EA Sports announced that they were
going to come
out.
out.
So I looked at it today. They're talking about corresponding the release with the 2022 Masters. So we might have to wait through the winter.
Oh, son of a diddly.
So we'll have to look. I know there was another one that was going to go head-to-head with that one that they announced a few months ago, but I can't remember what it was called off the top of my head.
I'm not buying another 2K.
No.
That is for damn well sure.
So, funny you should mention golf games. So I bought, we have a Switch, so I bought the Mario Rush golf.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more kiddish golf, but it's still fun. Because
Mario golf rocks.
Every every character is different. Like Bowser's more of a power golfer, yeah. Yoshi's more of a finesse golfer, and you can actually get the golf sets and do different things to play the different way you want to play. And then there's a campaign mode where you make your own little me and you go through, and there's a different style of golf. It's actually really, really fun. It's something just to kill time every now and again that we play.
I play MLB to kill time.
Yep.
That's the game I play right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, no, we're planning on playing a whole ton of golf. I want to get to 100 rounds if I can. It's going to be tight, but I'm going to try and do it this year. And I was talking to my cousin today. He's like 99% sure he's coming down for the season-ending tournament. Sounds like my dad's going to be down here for that. My brother Josh, if he's gone back to Calgary already, he'll be down. Hopefully we can get everybody out, get that 10 or 12 guy
12
field,
guys out, that'd be great.
And have 2 days and have a blast, right?
Yeah.
And just, I mean, we're going to play off the Blacks on the first day. We're going to play off the Blues on the second day. And really challenge everybody to put together
2 good rounds,
2 consecutive good rounds if you're going to win the tournament. And that's been the problem with everybody in our tour group is some guys really fight the consistency. They can't. One day they're shooting.
Yeah,
one day they're shooting 75, and the next day they're shooting 100.
You're sitting next to a guy that has trouble with that consistency. Yeah, he's right here. You're looking at him right now.
I don't know how that's going to bode for you going into a tournament.
I hope I do really well on the Saturday, man.
And the Blacks are a little longer, so that's going to add a different.
Well, we've played the Blacks a couple times.
We have on the practice rounds,
and I play them relatively well.
Yeah, I think the last time I played the Blacks, I shot a 81 or an 82, so it hasn't really changed my score. But a lot of the par threes, I think, are almost. It's going to sound weird, but it's almost easier because they're longer.
You actually have a club.
Versus like the 90 yards I have to get to one, and I'm like, yeah, okay.
And what am I pulling out? I'm in between clubs here, and I'm in between a loft wedge and a gap wedge, right? And it's just brutal, right? Because again, playing full swings with your loft wedges is, we don't do it a lot.
No, it's not. It's a
I'd rather have a
finesse type of game.
9-iron or a pitch wedge.
100%.
Right?
100%.
So playing from the blacks and the par 3s makes it a little...
We are going to have to make one of our last tour dates, so at a Cottonwood, or one or two of them play from the blacks. We'll have to we'll make that decision on a morning and just decide, we're playing from the blacks today. Because, it doesn't add a whole bunch of distance, but it does change some of the holes dynamics.
Change some of the holes dynamics.
The last time I played, it really, if I wanted to, I could bring the driver out. And it allows you to, for a guy like me who drives it a little further, it allows me to bring the driver out to hit some holes if I'm hitting it well that day. But yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. But anyways, I think that's a wrap.
Yeah, I'm tired.
And,
I want to go to bed.
Alvin's going to go home and go to bed. I'm going to save this up and edit it probably tomorrow after I get home from work, and we'll have it up probably tomorrow night. So may your mulligans be plenty and your hacks be findable. And we'll catch you guys later.
Take care, everyone.